Okay, I'm being advised by the clerk that we look at this as query number 2. Incorrect recognition of development grants, how was it addressed?
Chair, the prior adjustments were correctly made in the financial year 2021-2022 financial statements. They have been confirmed to be okay.
You know, Auditor, we are referring, the report before us is for the year ended June 2021. So you are on record that the amendments were made in the 2021-2022 financial statements. Is that the position?
Yeah, what they have done is redone the financial statements for 2021-2022, which are now corrected, and then they are captured in the subsequent financial years.
Okay, maybe at this point, I know Senator Raj will ask this question. I leave it to her. Budget control and performance, how was it addressed? This was a matter of under-expenditure. So how was it addressed?
Chair, the statement of a conversion of actual and of budget and actual amounts was amended because it had some errors. So the correct balances are reflected in the amended, the one which is now the workings for that amendment. So that's the way they were addressed. Yeah.
Again, because you know we are talking about under expenditure of 92%. Okay, Senator Miraj, I'll come to you. The matter of non-compliance with the public sector presentation of financial statement, how was it addressed?
Chair, it was addressed in the subsequent financial year when the statements were prepared. That's a subsequent financial year. They now the correct format.
But the current one?
The current one, the assigned one has not been amended. It cannot be amended. What they do is they're working for subsequent adoption in the subsequent financial statements.
So it was treated as a prior year adjustment.
Chair, there is a prior adjustment which we raised as a query and it was not explained in that subsequent financial year. So we had done the adjustment, but it was not explained by way of a note.
Okay, the matter of late submission of financial statement, this matter is a compliance issue because if you don't submit the financial statement on time, it is against the section 47 of the Public Audit Act. So I think we have been told by the auditor that subsequently financial statements are being submitted in time, but we are going to give a cautionary recommendation because in the future this becomes a violation of the law.
Chairman, I don't understand what the auditor is saying, because all these issues about how they were addressed, he is just repeating himself. Is there a reference where we can refer you can explain to us exactly how these issues were addressed, right? Because the next is going to repeat the same thing, that it was updated and that it was addressed. It's not making sense to me. Or give us a referral where or how these issues were addressed.
So you see, auditor, you need to give very valid on how the matters were addressed, because it's going on record, and we are relying on the auditors because control and performance. You have indicated it's addressed, but members are still questioning how it was addressed. How a matter of under-expenditure of 92% was addressed. Was there a supplementary budget presented, or how was it addressed? You need to be very specific.
Yeah, I think then we need to go to the particular query, we read the whole query the way it is, so that then we look at the response of the management. So we go through the query the way it is, with the response by management, then we can look at each issue, each part, as the way it is addressed.
That I agree. What the committee is seeking to do, we are appreciating that in one meeting, and our time is very limited. So what we wanted to do is to see the queries which are not addressed, so that we can focus on them. But those which are addressed,
And Chair,
members need to be convinced that they are actually addressed.
pesa zilikuwa hazikutumika na hapa inasemekana ninavyojua pesa zikibaki katika zikutumika huwa zinarudi katika ile akaunti ya nyingine ambayo si
Chair, there is something that you said, auditor needs to be clear that a supplementary budget was done just the financial year to reduce the budget by what was not spent or the target they didn't meet, maybe in their own, this was also during COVID time, maybe there were issues. Number two, or tell us that the amount that was not used was reported in 2021-2022 budget and spent there, so that at least we are clear, we know something has been done. So that it is clear. When you become economical with your words, then members get confused. Maybe the problem with accountants sometimes, Chair, also, maybe it's like yourself and myself, they are scientists. Sometimes we speak less.
I think at the end of this, we need to know which accountant signed these financial statements. Do you have the financial statements for this? Because now it looks like every query that was there, including inaccuracies, including most of the queries have later on been addressed. So we need to know who was the accountant then. Can you check the financial statements?
Mr. Chairman, the accountant is here. We came with her.
What is her name?
It's called Caroline Chebet.
Caroline Chebet, where are you? Were you the accountant then? So are you alive to the issues which are appearing here now? Can you give her a mic, please? Intimidating you. We just want to get clarity on some of these things. We have queries which touch on competence. addressed. But then when you look at them, there are mainly competent issues, for example, and right. Issues of undisclosed bank account was later now addressed. Why were they not disclosed then at the point of audit? Issues of non-recognized were later on addressed. Issues of non-compliance with the standards. You know, all these issues are issues that an accountant should be aware of. So how is it that you overlooked these issues?
Okay, concerning the one for the please come up again with the one for the bank.
No, it's a list of issues from the report. We have issues of inaccuracies. We have issues of non-disclosure, non-recognition of grants. We have issues of compliance to the standards. We have issues of budget control and performance. We have issues touching on legal compliance, submission of financial statement, late submission of financial statement. How is it that these issues, which according to the auditor have now been addressed in subsequent years, how is it that you have overlooked them?
Your Honor, I did not overlook them. I apologize for that. I joined the service in 2019, so I could say it's issues of not having known the system for the public sector, because before that I was doing a lot in private sector. But after that I've had some capacity building, and I'm not able to do them well now.
I want to hand you over to Senator Miraj, who is an expert in that line.
How are you, Caroline?
Fine, thank you.
Are you an ISPAC member?
Yes, I am.
What is your ISPAC number?
26048.
26048. 048. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Can you check the status of her status with ISPAC? You know, we are doing this because accountants, you have an obligation under the Accountants Act and also under the Public Audit Act to ensure that the financial statements that are presented are true.
You're right.
And correct.
You're right, sir.
So that you don't end up generating audit queries on matters of competence and capacity. Now, your status indicates Caroline Chebet, CPA, membership is active, but your status is not in good standing. Your status is not in good standing. Can you explain to the committee why your status is not in good standing?
It's not in good standing because I've been having a lot of assignments at the office, so that there's little I managed to do with the trainings from ISPAC. I should think that's the reason, because as far as registration is concerned, I'm active.
Yeah, because you know, things like standards, they are addressed in the training. We have an officer from Dr. Nungo is here, from Treasury, who trains people on public sector accounting standards.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you don't attend the training, you miss out on this, and you end up generating a query for your account.
I note it concern, Your Honor.
Anyway,
Bwana Chairman, if I may ask.
Yes.
we have capacity challenges, not just in terms of competence, but also in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
Just a single officer herself has been handling both the mother department, that's the Department of Lands, and that's huge, and the municipality. And I remember when there was a time I'm told she was recalled. She was actually in hospital, admitted, but she was called to come and do this financial statement. Some of those mistakes arose from that. As a county, we are taking steps. We've added an extra accountant. Tom Tanui is here. And also in this financial year, we want to add more numbers. And as so when they go and sign
you can sit
again,
down, Carol.
when they go and sign someplace, it's not herself as a person, but because of the capacity we have in the department.
Okay. Mark, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Chair. I think there's also need to comply with the Section Audit Act in line with the responses to the management letter, because you realize most of these issues, as there was an entry meeting, there was an ML, and there was, because of no response, that's why these queries have arisen, and that the response was provided late. So, Chair, compliance to Section 31 would really help in terms of dealing with some of the queries we're dealing with. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, because Dr. Nungo?
Thank you, Chair. Maybe just for information, some of these ISPAC workshops can be done online. So I think maybe in the future you need to, if you are very busy, but you can just spare some time to do some online workshops. So some of those meetings can be online. Some. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, and again, maybe Governor, capacity issues, you need to have a budget for your accountants to attend trainings, and even the lawyers, people whose accreditation is depending on the number of trainings they do.
I want to confirm, Mr. Chairman, we have got a budget. We put money on the budget for that.
Yes. Okay. I think your internal management to deal with that, because you may find yourself getting audit queries, which are issues that you can avoid, like these inaccuracies and matters which are touched on capacity. A recommendation on those matters. The matter of long outstanding debt. Auditor, how was this matter addressed?
All the money was recovered except for interest at bank rate recommended by the law. So it was just the principal amount was recovered.
The principal amount was recovered, but the interest was not recovered.
It was not recovered.
Then the matter is not addressed, because the law, section section 93 of PFM requires that matters of interest, you must pay interest on it at the prevailing market rate. Was there any administrative action taken on this officer? Because the same regulation, payment of interest and administrative action, was it taken?
There was no administrative acts taken except for verbal warning, because they said that recovery of the interest, they thought it was punitive enough.
Issues, let me mark these as query number 3. The matter of ethnic diversity. I think this one you said it had been who needed to have an ethnic balance. So let's look at, so for this particular year, we have 3 queries we are going to look at. The year ended ledgers. Was that the case?
Yeah, I said it was addressed.
It was addressed.
Ledgers,
Again, this is a matter to do with compliance to Section 31 of the Public Audit Act. Inaccuracy in financial statement, addressed, but then it was not addressed. Budgetary control and performance, this one not addressed. Incomplete years in the 2023 report. Irregularity in upgrading Barabara Mpya Mitume Road. This one is partially addressed, but auditor, is it recurring?
Chair, it's not recurring.
Okay, so now we mark this as query number 4. Irregular expenditure on the task force is recurring. And I think Mheshimiwa Chasange does this. So we take the query in the year 2023. So for this particular year, we consider only 1 query, which is irregular, like failure to provide ledgers, inaccuracies in financial statements. Caro, were you still the auditor who signed the financial statements? One who signed? Yeah, again, you have repeated some of the issues. Okay, the final year, which is the year ended 2023. But before we go there, I would like to ask
Vice Chair of this committee and Senator for Kisumu County. Welcome to the Senate government.
You forgot to say a member of the broad-based government.
You know the governor is also a member of the Tawe movement.
Okay, the year ended June 2023 and confirmed and stated prior year balances, addressed inaccuracies in statement of cash flow, addressed, but again, that touches on the issue of capacity. Inaccuracy in comparison, in statement of comparison of budget and actual amount, touches on that again. Cash and cash equivalent touches on that. Valuation of property, this will mark it as query number 5. It's not addressed. Trade and other payables is partially addressed. Auditor, what is partially addressed here?
Chair, the adjustments was done. Invoices were given and the payment vouchers, we have verified that. But for the deposit account, they are not maintaining the ledger of individual, those individual individuals whose retention is being held by the county. So that's what is outstanding.
Okay, query number 6 then. Unsupported inventories, query number 7.
Chair, for that what is remaining is the stock taking reports. The one they have given is just giving the list of those items you are in store, but not giving the value. So
okay. We have marked it as 7. Irregular expenditure on public fora addressed. How was it addressed, Auditor?
Chair, for the irregular expenditure on public fora, the vouchers were provided and we have verified with the supporting documents. There are copies of invitations which were placed around the target settlements, and then for the stakeholder involvement, the invitations were done through the letters to target the stakeholders and the emails from the consultant to individual committee members. And then there is also a settlement executive committee erected for the purpose of linking the office with the stakeholders. So those ones were provided and we confirmed their
Irregular board expenses, how was it addressed?
Chair, for the board expenses, they have given us a invitation letters to attend and attendance registers and the minutes of the board meetings, which we have looked at and they attached as an annex.
Okay, irregular expenditure on task force. This query recurred from the first year, so we mark it as number 8. Outstanding interest, how was it addressed?
Chair, you have mentioned that one from the previous year, because so it was also on the interest, which was already interest is outstanding. Because it was just recorded the same thing.
I had marked it. Eh?
Yes, Chair.
Lack of an updated asset register, that one we mark it as 9. Proposed construction of a multi-story business complex, this one recurred, so it is 10. Auditor, how was the query on an implemented CIDP, ADP, and budget projects addressed?
Chair, there is a budget which was done. It's in the subsequent financial year budget. So those projects which were not done, they appear in the next budgets of the county executive.
So that one we'll mark it as number 11. Lack of fraud management and risk policy.
Chair, they are using the policy of the county executive. So, and that's the one which is applicable for. So we took it as addressed.
Or the matter of control over functions, we mark it as number 12.
That's correct, yeah.
So that was unsupported work in progress. Unsupported work in progress for the year ended 21. Auditor, please.
Chair, unsupported work in progress the statement of financial position as disclosed in Note 8 and 28 days commencing 10th June 2019, and expected completion date was 10th June 2021. As at 30th June 2021, the contractor had been fully paid the contract amount of Kenya shillings 390,958,729. Review of the records revealed that the works were subcontracted by subcontractors. However, the contract agreements, contractor and subcontractors were not provided for audit review. Further, the bills of quantity and engineers' estimates were not provided for audit review, while site meeting minutes provided were not signed. It was therefore not possible to confirm the scope of works and the contract sums for each subcontractor. In the circumstances, the accuracy, ownership, and valuation of property, plant and equipment balance of Kenya shillings 392,376,681 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Governor, your management response.
Mr. Chairman, the multi-story business complex was constructed as part of the bus park land, which is a public land. The land 6, formerly LR number 2116/601, is not yet registered, and the county is in the process of registration. The land was encroached, but the county reclaimed the whole parcel and has constructed and has secured it with the perimeter wall. It is further noted that the house of use attached are correspondences by the Ministry of Lands and Settlement confirming the land is public land. Mr. Chairman, if you check, we have put annexes 1A. Those are letters from the Ministry of Lands and Settlement. That's from page 2 all the way to page 12. That the land is public land. The claims we hear are rumors, nothing in concrete, nobody has come forward to claim it, and we have secured the property. The process of getting a title deed is underway.
Okay, let's start with the auditor. Auditor, what is your comment on the response?
Chair, the ownership documents were not presented, so we cannot confirm unless we have the title. This other document correspondence cannot confirm the ownership of that parcel of land. Contract agreements, these were presented, and we have verified them. Bills of quantities and engineer estimates were presented to us, and we have inspected. And then we also have the signed site minutes, which we have confirmed to be correct. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, but Auditor, maybe just clarify. In your query, paragraph 1, you are saying, however, the construction was undertaken on a parcel of land whose ownership documents were not in the name of the municipality, which means you had access to the ownership document at the time of audit. So maybe you need to clarify on that.
Yeah, the documents which were there are the ones which the governor tabled, and then that's why we are saying they are not in the name of the municipality. So he has confirmed this in the name of their public land owned by the county government. So we wanted to be in the name of the municipality because we are looking at the municipality, not the whole county government. That's what we are trying to say.
Okay, Senator Eddie, please put yourself on record.
To the committee and to Governor, together with your team, good afternoon.
My name is Eddie Gisheru-Okech, Senator from Migori County and a member of this committee.
Thank you very much. So you see now, the response from the governor is that this was public land. He has indicated the details of the land and stated that this land is yet to be registered, but the county is in the process of registration. So that's why I'm asking you to explain those documents that you reviewed. They were in the name of who? Who was the title holder?
Chair, there is no title to this land. It was given to us.
Then your query is a bit misleading, because you should say that you did not see the title. But the query implies that the ownership document were not in the name of the municipality, meaning that you had access to the to the documents. So there, I think it's a bit misleading. Okay, maybe Governor, the second part of the issue that he has raised is the issue of the contract agreements between the main contractor and the subcontractors. The auditor indicates they were not provided. In your response, you have not mentioned that.
I was dealing with the first part of the query.
Yes.
There are three.
Okay, maybe you can just finish the others.
The second one is on page 13 of our response.
Yeah, you can proceed and read it out so that we just cover it at the same time.
Under the contract arrangements, there are 5 specialist works. 1, sculpture works. 2, general electrical installation works. 3, plumbing, drainage and fire protection and installation works. 4, kitchen extract systems installations by the main contractor with the approval of the client represented by the consultant. The subcontract agreements between the main contractor and the subcontractors have been availed. The audit, and they go all the way to page 23. Page 23. The third part of the query is on engineers' estimates. It's on page 24, Mr. Chairman. Bills of quantity and summary evaluation report. The engineers' estimates, stock bills of quantity have been provided to the auditors for audit review. And we have put annexures there. And they go all the way to page 31. And then the last part of the query was on the signed minutes, and have been availed. That time they were not availed, but the signed minutes have been availed to the auditors for audit review, and we have attached the evidence. It goes all the way to page 47.
So, Auditor, I want you to make your comments on those 3 parts of the
presented, and we have looked at them. They appear correct. And the bills of quantities as attached, they were presented to us, and we have confirmed they are okay. And then the signed site minutes were also adequate.
I think, Auditor, I think you will need more time. You will need to verify, because you remember you started by telling us that this query is not addressed.
Tabitha Mutinda, a member of this committee. I can see we are all represented, and that's good. I wanted you to allow me, Chair, just to being on the floor. I just had the auditor's response in terms of they received the documents, we'll look at them. Auditor, when did you receive these documents, and why did you not in your management report right to the governor? I mean, yeah, to really ask for these documents on time for you to come before this committee and state that you are then given documents and you look at them. This is a day that we've set for Trans Nzoia County so that we can be able to look at these issues and conclude. Proceed.
Chair, I don't think I've said that we received and we asked for them to review this document. I said these documents were received and confirmed by us. So if I say that, I can't remember saying that.
Okay, let's be on the same page. These documents were received and you confirmed. So this issue is still not yet addressed because you in your receiving of the documents, then you raised these concerns, Auditor. You raised concerns ranging from the signed minutes were not signed, concerns that the bills of quantities engineers were not provided for audit review. You raised the concern that the contractor agreements between the main contractor and the subcontractor were not provided for audit review. So did you receive and still you claim that you did not audit? Can you come out properly?
Chair, the audit query was raised in the audit of 2020-2021 financial year. At that time, the documents were not given to us, or the team which was on the ground. Now, when they are responding, or the county governments respond to these summons to the Senate, they have now responded. The documents they have shared with the Senate, and they gave us a copy which was received on 13th of August, 2024. This report was done several years ago. I think if we look at the certificate, it was signed in, because that time this is the time we has brought them on 13th of August. This document, at the same time it was submitted to the Senate. So we got a copy, which was coming to the Senate and coming to us.
Okay,
so
just for clarity, and Mark, I would really need your wisdom on this floor. If then by then, documents were not conducted without the relevant documents at that particular time, because you seem to be bringing the element that the issue was that time, so documents were not presented at that time. Did you have an opportunity to review the audit?
Let me come in at this point. You know, honorable members, the auditors are a part of us. They are our technical arm. Allow me to say that those matters would be handled differently. But go back, verify these documents that have been given to us, and do the physical verification of the construction, and write back to us in 14 days.
Chair.
That is the way to go.
No, Chair,
because I don't want a scenario where we are going to exchange among ourselves.
Yeah, allow me to add on to what Senator Tabitha is trying to say. On the year 2023, there is a query, number 6, on trade and other payables.
We are coming to that.
No, let me drive my point home.
Yeah.
Most of the queries here that we were told are addressed. We merely said that there were capacity issues and that the accountant was overwhelmed. She has not been going for the trainings. So they are just anomalies. But there is a very high fiduciary risk. Let me show you in number 6. They said there were late submissions, and later the invoices and everything were submitted. So the query was addressed. But sincerely, when we look at the invoices, the dating and the days that they were received, there are so many anomalies. I don't know why we accept documents after the audit, because that is where ukora unafanyika wa mwenyekiti. haiwezekani wakati auditors wanakwenda hawapewi makaratasi, alafu baadaye makaratasi yanakuja. Na tuseme tu kwa umakini, tangu wakati wa Nyamira waje, nimekuwa makini sana kuangalia the annexures ambazo tunapewa. Hata we mwenyewe ukiangalia hiyo invoice hapo, it has been altered. Hatujui ni tarehe 24 ama ni tarehe ngapi. Na ukiangalia katika hii receipt nyingine ambayo imekuwa stamped, imekuwa invoiced on 22nd. Huku invoice yenyewe inasemekana ni tarehe 24. So ni muhimu sana. Ukiona mahali kwenye Public Finance Management Act, mwenyekiti, imesemekana kupeana stakabadhi kuchelewa ni hatia, ni kwa sababu hapo ndio ukora ufanyika.
Yeah, that's why, Honorable Member, I marked that query, the query on trade and other payables. The auditor had indicated it's partially addressed, but the clerk advised that we mark it as a query to be considered. So we are going to consider that query. Number 6 that you are referring to.
Chair, in any query that there were late submissions, we need to give it to the auditors to take them back, waende wakaangalia hizo annexures ambazo tumepewa, kwa sababu tunaona ziko na matatizo na hazionyeshi hata vizuri pia. They're not visible. So how are we going to say that these matters are addressed if we cannot verify the late submissions of the documents that were not given during the audit cycle?
Yeah, that's very important. The matter of late submission of documents is an offense under the Public Audit Act and the PFM Act. And this committee, we always give a recommendation on that. And that's why the accountants who are here, we keep on making reference to you, because you are the ones who mobilize the documents for audit. If you don't submit documents in time during the audit process and you bring to us when you are about to appear before Senate, that is an offense according to the law. Because in any case, senators are not auditors. We don't do audit here. We simply look at the audit query that has been presented to us and look at the evidence. But if that evidence is in itself an offense, that becomes a problem. So senators raise a very important issue, the issue of late submission of documents. We are not going to be very lenient on that moving forward. That documents must be submitted during the audit process, not after the audit process. Senator Eddie, and we need to make progress. We have 12 queries to handle.
Yeah, this is a qualified opinion. And I actually take offense when we are almost indicating that auditors did not do their work. And I think it's unfair to the auditors. We have got a situation where there is a very clear process. We spent 2-3 hours here with the Auditor General. And Chair, it will be revisionist if we don't implement some of the things that we agree about in this committee. Because we spent time here with the Auditor General. The Auditor General took us through a process of audit and the series of meetings, including management meeting, including exit meetings, that then, before a certificate is raised, Chair, there will be several engagements with the respective county. Where do I take offense? I take offense that at the point that the conclusion of an audit has been done and a certificate has been issued, there were no particular documents. Because this certificate was issued. When was the certificate issued? Just inform me the date.
October 2022.
The certificate was issued in 13th October 2022. The documents that are responding to audit queries were received in October 2024. Is that true? August 2024. Chair, how are you being fair to the auditors? The response that we are looking at here, we are not doing an audit query interrogation. Chair, we are auditing. That's the meeting we are having here. And Chair, I think that you should pronounce yourself, and perhaps the legal person can be able to read for me Section 62 of the Public Audits Act. What does it say? If you allow me.
Yeah, legal, please proceed.
Chair, Section 62 of the Public Audit Act provides for offences. A person shall not, without reasonable cause or lawful excuse, obstruct, hinder, assault, or threaten a member of staff of the Auditor General. B, without justification, fail to provide information required under this Act. C, without justification, fail to provide information within reasonable time that is required under this Act. D, submit false or misleading information. E, misrepresent to or knowingly mislead a member of staff of the Auditor General. F, interfere with or exert undue influence of any staff of the Office of the Auditor General. 2, a person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offence and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or to both.
So, Chair, this is my pronouncement, because I really am tired of this kind of engagement in this committee. The first process that we must clear is that the documents that we are seeing here that are responding to these queries, were they provided for at the time of audit? Were they provided for at the time that the certificate was issued? No. So then, as a committee, to be serious, we must pronounce ourselves that, was there a reasonable reason that made them not to be availed? And was that communicated to the auditors? If there isn't, we must pronounce ourselves to that particular section of the law. And then the second question would be, when they are provided for, which the auditors, to be honest, the Auditor General was very clear here, and we gave, it is this committee that gave the Auditor General direction here. I sat here for 3 hours, and we said, if you're going to receive documents after a certificate has been issued, there is no provision of that under the law. And you cannot hold the auditors liable for that. You punish and you call it a day. Because, Chair, I will not come to meetings where I come and start auditing a report. This is audit we are doing here. It's not a scrutiny of the audit queries. So, Chair, I hold the view that any document that came after the issuance of certificate should not even be reviewed. Shouldn't. The law is very clear. This certificate was raised in 2021 and closed. You take the auditor to another audit process on August 2024. Chair, what are we doing?
This matter is not a new matter, honorable members. We have handled this matter of late submission of documents. And I want to agree with you. Where there is a fair and valid explanation as to why the documents were not provided during the audit, the committee will consider that particular case. But where there is no fair and valid explanation on why the documents were not provided, then the committee cannot start redoing the audit. They will simply make a recommendation on that. Governor, in his response, he stated that the documents were later on found with the contractor, found with the contractor, which means they were not there with the county government. They were later on found with the contractor. So that is the first challenge, that the documents were not there. Number two, honorable members, this is the very first time this Senate, through this committee, is looking at municipalities. We have not been looking at municipalities since 2014, when devolution started. The same matter also with the water companies. This is the first time Senate is looking at it. And these challenges are there. So I think we need to decide moving forward how we are going to be handling such matter, because I'm seeing we are going to get into a major constraint on this matter. That looking at this report, we may even decide that there is no matter that we are going to look at, and that will be another problem. So I want us to handle case by case. On a matter that we feel there is a valid and fair explanation, then we proceed. On a matter that we feel there is no valid explanation, then we take the necessary action.
Chair, you know you are. Chair, sorry, I don't mean to be rude or anything, Senator Abitha. Chair, you know the Auditor General's position was very important, and I hope that the COG was logged in that for the conversation.